to the Paulina Tarot in-depth look, part 2 of 3. We're going over wands and cups in this part here. So let's go ahead and get right into it now. The Ace of Wands is a very auspicious card. Wands are fire and creativity, the way I read. Some people read wands as air. I do not. I read them as fire. So they are also in alignment with the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the Ace of Wands is the most powerful wand in the regard of having creative power and being able to come up with creative solutions. There's a very big owl on this card, and owls are always wisdom. They are seers. They are able to see the invisible and what is attempted to be hidden. And wands are able to have that same power along with the owls. The wands have the power to come up with creative solutions that would appear hidden. Okay, Two of Rods is a creative collaboration of two people with like-minded ideas coming together and working together on a creative level. It can be a love partnership, but not necessarily. It can really be two people. It can be a parent and a child. It can be business partners. This is really across the board of just two people coming together with a creative, like-minded goal. Okay, and the Three of Wands is also can be a collaboration of people coming together as a team. This is more of a team than a partnership, but always having creative solutions and brainstorming at the forefront of what's trying to be accomplished. And of course, the aces, twos, and threes are the beginning. Fours, fives, sixes, and sevens are the middle of a project. Eights, nines, and tens are more of a completion a lot of the time. So that doesn't always fall into alignment, but tarot is very fluid. So this is a creative collaboration here. Four of Wands is a marriage card. This is a very happy home, very happy marriage card. To me, this is the marriage card of the deck. So, and you will get more information, of course, depending on surrounding cards. Five of Rods. Some decks are rods. This deck is wands. The Five of Wands is conflict. Conflict with a team, or people who feel that they're not being heard within the team, and ideas not being laid out on the table equally, so then there ends up being some conflict. This card always speaks to disagreements and conflict. Now the Six of Rods is the collaboration coming together and everybody being in harmony. This is a very triumphant card in the deck, Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Now, all of these wands are kind of coming at this person, and these are like job, family, all of these demands that are constantly coming at the person with all these responsibilities. And the key message of the Seven of Wands is to know that you are completely capable of handling all the things that come your way, and to not let the stress get the best of you. Now, Eight of Wands, to me, this is the fastest communication card in the deck. This is really good news coming very fast to the person getting the reading, and it can be of a very creative nature. So this can be invitations, communications, all that stuff, but very swift and unexpected messages. Now the Nine of Wands, this person has conquered all of these battles, but they are so used to being battle ready that they have trained themselves into always looking for the next fight. And sometimes we invite more fights by looking for them. So this card guards against always being battle ready. it's good to be battle ready, but to not show up to every fight you're invited to. You know what I mean? Okay, Ten of Wands. This always speaks to carrying burdens. And usually when this card comes up for my people, almost every single time, what we find is the person who's getting the reading is carrying their own burdens, plus the burdens of those around them. This person has some codependency issues and needs to do some work on when to know when one person's responsibilities end and theirs begins, and to be able to make that discernment and set healthy boundaries. This person is somebody who is afraid to set boundaries, but very much needs to, because they're getting extremely worn out and exhausted by carrying a lot of burdens that are truly not their own to carry. Okay, Page of Wands. Now, pages to me are always messengers, and they're always younger. And of course, wands, the way I read, are fire. So these are younger fire signs, usually lighter in color, but not always. Those are just guidelines, but they can go outside of the perimeter of that. Page of Wands is always communicating to you to look at more creative solutions, to sit down and do like a brainstorming session and get those creative solutions on paper so that you can see all the different directions you can take your situation or your goal. Okay, Knights are younger people as well, and of course fire signs, wands. The Knights, this Knight here, these are generally male, not always, definitely not always, but the Knights are of an aggressive nature. These are people who jump in to the situation and then they figure out how to handle the situation as they go. And for somebody who's really apprehensive, this can be exactly what they need to do. But for somebody who does this a lot and ends up with a lot of problems, then this card can say, hey, check out the consequences before you jump in. Let's take a look at what exactly can happen with this situation before we get too wild here. So it can mean one or the other depending on the other cards. Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands, of course, fire, very creative, artistic, powerful woman. The queens are always women who have stepped into their power and they know what they want out of life and they know how to get it, and they know how to get it by being fair and just. All of the queens have this in common when they're in a positive light. Now in a negative light, the Queen of Wands can be very crafty and underhanded, very, very quick-witted and clever. But depending on the surrounding cards, this person can actually, you do not want the queens as enemies or the kings either. So this can point to maybe you're rubbing somebody the wrong way or needing to get someone out of your life. It, of course, always depends on the surrounding cards. Same with the King of Wands. This is depicting a male who has learned through time, age, and wisdom how to step into his power, how to own his power. He's a very creative, artistic kind of man, a very unique skill set for problem solving and being able to find creative solutions, as are all the wands. And he is very powerful person, and in the good light, of course, he's great, and in the bad light, of course, he's not. So those are the wands. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cups now. Here we go with cups. Now cups always depict water, and the signs that are water are Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So that rules the cups. The cup cards. Now the eight and cups are always emotional. Water, emotional, that all goes hand in hand. And the moon. The moon is the planet for the water and the cups. Ace of Cups is your cup overflowing with emotional blessings, love blessings, all those things that are of a spiritual nature to us. Very powerful card, the Ace of Cups. Two of Cups is a very loving partnership. These are two people who have a soulmate connection. It doesn't necessarily have to mean a love romantic relationship. It can be best friends, it can be siblings. There's all different kinds of relationships that can fit into the Two of Cups, but these two are definitely heart linked. They're very spiritually linked to one another. Three of Cups always tells the person getting the reading, the querent, to celebrate. Let's celebrate our accomplishments and all of our blessings. And this also speaks to celebrating with your own gender. If you're female, have a girls' night out and really go tear it up. You know, safely, of course, but same with maybe a guy's night out. This is a celebration and getting with a lot of energy that is shared gender energy. Okay, Four of Cups now. This person has these three options in front of them, and it can be however many options, and none of them are really looking great. She is not interested in taking any of these avenues. And then there's another cup being offered to her that is the ultimate happy solution or direction for her to take, but she's so locked into looking at the problems and the limits that she can't see what's being offered. So this card is always telling you to look around and not get locked into the problem, because then we may miss the solution, the ultimate solution. Five of Cups is more of the same, but this card has more emotional pain attached to it. These three cups are spilled over with the liquid coming out of them, and this is very much an emotionally painful card, like the end of a relationship or something that this person really had an emotional expectation of having in their life, and it all fell apart and didn't work. And so this person is in a little cycle of grief. And so a couple things about this card. One, it's always important to allow our grief to happen so that we can move past it. And two, there are two more cups, just like in the Four of Cups, there are two more really wonderful, amazing things that are being offered up to this person. And once again, this person cannot see it because they're too deep into the grief. But I always guard against coming out of grief too soon. We need to allow ourselves to feel our emotions, even the negative ones, because once we're able to do that, then we're able to move into a much more joyous place. Whenever I have stuffed my grief in life, I've ended up going through life and all the good things didn't feel near as good as they could have had I allowed myself to grieve the pain. So that's the Five of Cups. Okay, Six of Cups. Six of Cups always points to a very close relationship. And this woman and child here look almost like a mother-daughter relationship. But this is a soul mate connection. This is a past life connection. These are two people coming together in this lifetime who have been together either one or even many times in past lives. It's a very strong, powerful, loving connection between two souls. And it can be, again, friends, mother-child, siblings, you name it, any relationship under the sun it can fit into. Okay, Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups is an interesting card. Whenever I read this, this usually points to the person, the querent is trying to do way too many things at once, and they're dividing all of their attention and all of their energy into all of these different directions, and the result of that is that they're ineffective in all of the directions, and none of these goals seem to get any kind of momentum behind them because the person's attentions are way too split up. So this card always says, you know, prioritize what's really important to you and trim off the things that are interfering with your success, okay? I'm a master at doing this to myself, so every time this card comes up, this is a reminder for me too. And as a reader, if you're interested in reading, you will see that. You will read for people and you will notice that you're telling them what you need to hear yourself. Happens all the time. And it's one of the beauties and magical, wonderful things of reading tarot. So now the Eight of Cups. This card right here is specifically means emotionally detached. This person has come from the pain of the Five of Cups and the ho-hum choices of the Four of Cups, and they are okay with just walking away. This can be a relationship that's causing pain for this person, or spending their energy in places where they shouldn't be spending it. This person has a really good handle on what they want to accomplish with their life emotionally, and they are very good at turning their backs on everything that is not in alignment with their soul's purpose. So that's the Eight of Cups, emotional detachment. Okay, Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a very highly successful card. This is a card where this person has been really trying to accomplish a goal and they have succeeded. And it's a celebration card, the Nine of Cups. And it's also a card where the person has succeeded at their goal and now they're kind of looking at, okay, I'm at a plateau. What's my next goal going to be? So this is also a period of transition. And the Ten of Cups. This is the happy family card. Whenever this card comes up, this speaks to getting in touch with your family, spending time with your family, and it doesn't have to be blood family. It can be whoever you consider to be your family. And if the person doesn't have family, this card calls upon you to build some familial relationships with the people around you. Get out there and get to know people and hang out with people who make you feel good and who raise you up, and do them the favor of doing the same for them. This is a very close fellowship family card here, celebration. Okay, Page of Cups. Pages, again, like I've said earlier, are always messengers, and the Page of Cups is the messenger of emotional stuff. So when this card comes up, you're probably, one of your guides may be trying to tell you something on an emotional matter that you're not hearing, or someone is speaking to you. I find that Spirit speaks to me through my friends and through my loved ones very often. So there is a message here, and if you're not getting it, just dial in the listening. That's what that card means. Okay, Knight of Cups. The Knights are younger. This is, in a good light, this is a romantic invitation. This is a very loving chance at a new relationship. In a bad light, depending on surrounding cards, this person here can be a real rogue lover, relationship type person where they sweep the person off their feet, but they're doing it to 5 people at once. So a lot of times the Knight of Cups comes with emotional lessons. Okay, now the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, water. This queen is very in her emotional power. She is emotionally stable. She has very healthy boundaries. She does not allow people to cross over her boundaries or stomp on her boundaries. She will not stand for it. She's very, very strong in that regard. And she's also very loving. So the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups also are very loving people, but they are people who are in their power. And when these cards show up, sometimes the lesson is, hey, it's time to stand in your power. It's time to set some boundaries. Okay, so there's the cups. And please join me for part 3 of 3, and we will be going over the swords and the pentacles.